Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Stay Grounded podcast. I am your host, Nataly Q. And for today's episode, we will be talking about creating a vision board that actually works. Before we get started, if you love our podcast, if you love everything that you hear, the ways that you can help us is one, by leaving us a review, two, sharing the podcast, and three, following us on social media, the Stay Grounded podcast. And as we get started, here are three things that you'll be learning today. One, we're going to define what a vision board actually is. Two, what things should you do to create a vision board that works? And three, how do you actually use it throughout the year? And as we get started, one, I just want to say that I no longer like to call this my vision board. I just feel like the word vision board is so overly used. I now call it a manifestation board. It feels more connected to what I'm doing and why I'm actually creating this board in the first place. So that's just a little thing that I want to throw out there in case this is something that really works for you and you can start using the word manifestation board, right? And so as we start, I want to let you guys know, I feel like every December we're sold on the idea that we should have quote unquote these resolutions, right? Which if you haven't heard our last episode, you should. I don't call them resolutions, I call them intentions. Figure out why by listening to our last solo episode. But every time we put these resolutions together through vision boards or lists or however you put them together, we say this will be our year. And yes, sometimes it is. That's not what I'm saying. Sometimes it is. But I've seen more often than not that people give up a lot on the things they put on that list of intentions. And then by February, you kind of go back to the same routine. For myself, 2023 was really one of the best years of my life. And not everything on my list came true, but a lot of the things did. And if they didn't, I was able to at least plant seeds for those things that I put on my manifestation board. And you're probably like, okay, great, Nati. So how did you do that? First, I want us to define what a vision board is. And here's what I literally went into Google and I said, what is a vision board? And here's what I got. A vision board is a visual representation of your goals, dreams, and aspirations. It's a powerful tool used for manifesting and focusing on what you want to achieve in different areas of your life. And the last one I got was the concept behind a vision board is based on the law of attraction, which suggests that visualizing your goals and desires can help bring them into reality. So now that we've defined what a vision board or manifestation board, moving forward, I will be calling it a manifestation board. Here are the 3 steps that you can take to create a manifestation board that works. So, number 1, before you get all the supplies and you get all cute and you do all the fun, creative things, you need to ask yourself the right questions. So a vision board is really more than just pretty pictures. It's being really intentional about your dreams and the goals that you have for yourself. And so how do you do that? Well, like I said, ask yourself the right questions. And here are a few that I have come up with throughout the years of putting these manifestation boards together. And I will, of course, be attaching a PDF. You know, I'm a resources girl, so I will be attaching a PDF with the questions that I ask myself every year to create this manifestation board. But some of them can be, what are 3 short-term goals that I have for this year? Where do I want to travel this year? What is 1 word that describes the season I'm in? Who inspires me? What long-term goals do I have for myself? And like I said, I'm going to be attaching this PDF, and all these questions that I just mentioned will be on there. They're very intentional because what I realized is when I was just putting pretty pictures on there, great, but then I wouldn't really remember where the picture came from. It's like, where did this come from? What did I want out of this picture? And so by asking yourself the right questions, one, it's embedded in your head, right? Because what I do is I open up a Google Doc every year and I write and answer the questions that I've made up for myself. And these questions have come from a few years of putting these boards together. So I really suggest and encourage that you use this, because this creates intention and creates clarity. We need to be clear about what we want, and then we can get to all the pretty stuff and all the designing stuff, which takes me to step number 2, creating it, right? So this is the fun part, getting all the materials. And before we do that, we want to create a space that feels safe, warm, and creative. I highly, highly recommend that you do this, because you want to always remember that when you created this manifestation board, it was in a space of so much peace for yourself, of tranquility, of self-love, and the fact that you gave yourself the space to do this. So another thing that I suggest when I'm creating my own vision board, I make sure to add photos of myself doing certain things that I want to achieve. Whether that's traveling, guiding others in meditation, in my sound bath, maybe selfies at a workout class, if that's more of what you want to do. So I really recommend, and even if you don't have, attach a picture of yourself doing something, because the visualization becomes stronger. I understand people getting things from magazines, but I really feel like there is a power when you put yourself in your own manifestation board. There is clarity. You're actually visually looking at this and saying, oh shit, this is going to be me, or this is me, right? There's something beautiful about that connection when you see yourself on your own manifestation boards, right? And another thing that I actually do is the questions that you're going to see on this PDF that I attached, I actually, on the top of each section, I add my question, right? So for example, I wrote, what are 3 short-term goals that I have for this year, right? Let's say one is building community. So I put the question up top, and then I put a picture of a community or of a prior event that I've done right below it, so that you know, and this is what I mean by clarity. You are clear about the question and you are clear about the answer. That's usually what I do, and I'm not saying that this is something that is for you, but it works for me. So I would suggest then you get to the fun part of getting all the materials. Yes, you can use magazines, but please print out pictures of yourself. You want stickers, you want letters, maybe you want glue. Get creative, use stencils, have fun with this process, and make sure you're blocking out. What I would think is maybe an hour or 2 for the questions. And before you go into these questions, I just want to reiterate, not every question needs an answer. It really is based off of where you are in your life. So just remember that. I would spend maybe 2 hours answering these questions because they're intentional. And yeah, 2 hours is a long time, but you need to get very clear about your life. This is your life. So 2 hours in comparison is really not that long. And then maybe you want to grab another day if just answering the questions itself is exhausting energetically. So maybe you want to come back to it and say, okay, I'm going to come back to this in a couple days with a fresh mind. Let me print out my pictures. And then this is where you create that scene. This is where you get all your materials, your scissors and your glue and your magazines and the photos, and create something really beautiful. You deserve this. You deserve to put yourself first and see what dreams you actually have. And that's why I love calling it a manifestation board, because vision is just seeing it, right, to me. Whereas manifestation is like, oh, this is something that is happening that I'm really creating energy around, right? So I would really recommend that you take your time and give yourself the space to finish this board. Maybe for the month of January. It doesn't have to be finished by January 1st, but again, things work so differently for everybody. So if you feel like you want to do it all in one hit, hey, do it. I just recommend you take the month of January to just clarify what you really want and what you're working on. And so the third step to creating this manifestation board is action, visualization, and feeling it. You must action what you want. I hate, and hate is a strong word, I dislike the idea that people think that manifestation is just a pretty picture that you put on and then it automatically, the universe is going to do everything to make it happen. If you are not actually actioning anything that you want, you are not going to get it. The universe only responds to action, to visualization, and to feeling. You can't have dreams and goals and not action. And what I mean is you don't have to take a big ass step, guys. What I'm saying is do the small things, because the smallest things bring out really big results, and the universe is going to correspond to that. It's going to help. Another thing that I add to this is visualization. So I try to do this. Not every month looks the same, in all transparency, but I do try to add visualization at least once a month so I can connect to my board. And has it changed, right? Because sometimes things and dreams and the way that you want to do things, they change. So just making sure that you are adding this visualization once a month and connecting to it and making sure that this is still the stuff that you want and that you're envisioning yourself. You are literally sitting and manifesting and meditating into the moment. What are you wearing? How are you feeling? Who are you with? Like, what colors do you see in that moment for it to happen? Be specific. You want to be specific about your dreams. Stop playing around with your dreams and your goals. You just do not have the time. You don't. You gotta begin to show up for yourself. So visualization is a really powerful tool that you can actually start to use. If I can do this more than a month, more than once a month, I would. It's not always, like I said, we're busy people and sometimes that doesn't happen, but doing that attempt to maybe connecting once a month, if not twice a month, would really, really help. And with that visualization, you need to add a feeling. You need to add an emotion, because this sends out the energy of what you want and how you want to feel. What these dreams and goals will make you feel when you make them happen. Connect these two as consistently as possible. Sends a message of desire, of want, of connection. Make sure that you're also actioning, right? Like I said before, that's why I put action, visualization, and feeling, because these three are more connected than you realize. Meditate on it, take the time. This is actually a great way for you to create time for yourself. And even if it's 30 minutes, an hour, a month, make it happen. Put it in your calendar. Put that calendar invite in, because I'm sure that you do it for everything else. So this is a perfect way to do it. Show up for yourself. So let's go over the three. Step number 1, asking yourself the right questions. Step number 2, actually creating the board. And step number 3, action, visualization, and feeling. So now we're moving on to how can we use this throughout the year in an effective way? Okay, like I said, we have to go back to it daily. Visualize. Connect to it. Connect to your board, because we make it and then we leave it on the side and we don't even look at it. Put it in a place that you see it consistently, even if it's bypassed, on your desk, wherever there is room for you. Another thing, allow things and dreams to change as you grow. This is why it's important to keep looking at it, not every single day of your life, but consistently, because things might change. The way that you feel about a goal could change. So shifting is okay, just so you know. It's okay to change your vision board to align with you during every season, because not every season looks the same. And like I've been saying, action, visualize, and feel. Put it somewhere where you can see it. And like I said, put it somewhere where you can see it. And some people like to put it away. You're also welcome to do that, because this is what worked for me and has worked for me. I just happen to love seeing what I'm working towards on a consistent basis. And so this comes into my personal story, right? So 2023 was really one of the best years I've ever had. And on my board, I had community building. I wanted to get my sound healing certification. I wanted to drink more water, travel more, all these basic things, right? I did travel more and I didn't plan that, right? I just kind of surrendered and let the universe take over. I, I got my job. I was looking for a job from home where I can really travel the world. And here I am, January, what are we in? January 25th, recording this. I am now a freelancer for Paramount, working from home, working production, traveling the world. I'm in Colombia, where it's things that I just had put on my manifestation board that I did not think that could happen, and they did. They did. They did. And so what I'm saying is use this as an actual powerful tool for yourself. Don't just dilly-dally because it's a board. It's just society has done this thing where it's like killed what a manifestation board should be. And so I'm here to really, guys, take this shit serious. This is not just pretty pictures. This is your life. These are your dreams. This is how you want to feel. And allow yourself for it to look different, to feel different. Allow it to change. Create it intentionally. Everything with intention grows. So that is the story I wanted to tell you guys, because I am literally in one of the healthiest spaces that I've been in a really, really long time. And I consistently was looking at that board, consistently telling myself what I wanted. And not everything's come true, but a lot of things have come true. And that's why I wanted to create a full episode just on this. Take it serious. Have fun, but take it serious, right? And now we are at the conclusion of this solo episode. And here are the 3 things that we spoke about. Defining what a manifestation board is, aka vision board. I gave you guys 3 steps to create a manifestation board that actually works. I then showed you guys how to actually use it throughout the year where it's really, really effective, right? I hope that this was really helpful. I want to emphasize again the importance of visualization and feel and action. These things need to go together simultaneously in order for the universe to respond to what you want. And if you guys have any feedback or, any questions about the PDF that I've attached for you guys, please feel free to DM me, ask me the questions. And if you know of somebody that can really use this, please share it. It's really important that we share these episodes so that people can learn from them and grow from them. So tag us in your manifestation boards. I would love to see what you guys have done. If you guys have used the board, if you guys have used the questions, it'd be very helpful for me to see what everyone in the community is doing. And of course, like I said, if you need help creating this manifestation board, I'm always available to you guys. And thank you so much for listening in and for tuning in every single week. Next week, make sure you tune in as I have a conversation with Giovanna Borges about unpacking trauma and healing our inner childs. So this topic is very near and dear to me because of the type of work that I do in the wellness space. And I'm a believer that this type of work doesn't have an end date. But there are ways that we can begin this journey and continue it for our own personal growth and freedom. So stay tuned for that episode. And again, if you love what you're listening, we would love a share. We would love if you could leave us a review, if you follow us on Instagram. These are really beautiful ways that we can grow our BIPOC community voices. Thank you so much for listening in, for always being here, for being committed to your growth. It's really a beautiful way in how you show up for the world. And I'm super excited for next week's episode. Till next time, guys. Bye.